I've been playing golf for a long time, and I hate it. But that's me.
He's just saying it to be contrarian.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Bye, Felicia.
It's gone.
She gone.
She gone.
My God, that is a fantasy foursome.
That was fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stick and Hack Show, a sophisticated and brilliant look into the world of golf from a stick and a hack. Now, your hosts, Mike Ryan and Adam Grubb.
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is the Stick and Hack Show, quite possibly the greatest golf show in the free world, from the greatest golf club in the world without the course. I am your host, Adam Grubb, the hack. That is Mike Ryan, the stick. And our guest today is the great Christina Kim, LPGA golfer, broadcaster, outspoken advocate, and now a guest on the Stick and Hack Show. Mike, you've got stories galore. The last couple weeks of the show, you've actually had a Kevin Bacon connection to our guest, which is exciting. But you have a connection to Christina Kim, which we'll probably talk about in a second. But this is a good guest.
Loose. It's
right. It's that you know of someone that knows her that may have played with her.
That knew her for an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's not exactly living in the same block, is it?
No,
not
at all.
So, but Mike, we have had a run of some really incredible LPGA guests and professional golf guests. But Christina Kim is one of those golfers that everyone knows. They know her from her outfits to her personality to her incredible play. She has a personality and what I think she would be considered perhaps a stick and hack, right? She is a stick on the golf course, but she has some hack tendencies, and we love her for it, and we're going to talk to her in just a second. But first up, we are talking about coaches. Now, typically, Mike, the story has a loose association with the guest. I'm going to be honest with you, this is a stretch.
I'm waiting.
Okay?
I'm waiting to see how this gets tied together.
All right, John Robert Wooden is considered the greatest NCAA basketball head coach of all time, but many people knew him simply as coach. On the court, Wooden led the UCLA Bruins men's basketball program to an impressive number of wins, 664 and 162 record, was named NCAA College Basketball Coach of the Year 6 times. In his more than 40 years as a coach and through his years as head coach at UCLA, Wooden built teams, an elite athletic program, and a legacy that astounded the sports world. While his success on the court is heavily celebrated, Wooden's teachings extend far beyond the realm of sports. And I think you would be the first to say, Mike, that most people know Wooden as the Woodenisms and all of his speeches and how he approached life and the game. A master teacher, he created the Pyramid of Success, and wrote several books, none of which Shane has apparently read, to share his philosophy with the world. In 1942, Wooden served as a Navy lieutenant during World War II, and shortly thereafter, he returned to the world of basketball. In 1946, he coached basketball at Indiana State Teachers College, and his basketball team secured 44-15 record. He also coached baseball, served as a athletic director, got a master's degree. The list goes on and on and on. Over time, when he got to UCLA, he won 38 straight NCAA tournaments, had 88 consecutive victories, secured 4 perfect 30-0 seasons, and won 10 national championships. Those are some stats.
Yeah, those numbers have always blown my mind. I'm like, how do you?
I'm going to repeat them. So in case you're driving and you're not really listening, over time, UCLA won 38 straight NCAA tournaments and 88 consecutive victories, secured 4 perfect 30-0 seasons, and won 10 national championships. Wooden was the first person to be inducted in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame as both player and coach. Why and how, possibly, Mike, could John Wooden have anything to do with Christina Kim, more specifically have anything to do with the Stick and Hack Show? Well, he was a great coach. And speaking of great coaches, mentors, and those that you surround yourself with to be a better person, a better golfer, Christina Kim had probably the best. Our guest this week had the luxury of having both great parents and a coach who happened to be the same person. That's right. Helping her on her journey for golf greatness. Members and listeners, we welcome in to the Stick and Hack Show, LPGA great Christina Kim. Christina, welcome into the show. Happy to see you.
Thank you guys so much. It's awesome to be with you.
All right. So how did I do, Mike? Did I tie it in?
Sure.
All right, fine. So, Christina, that is the big thing. I'm going to pull your heartstrings right off the bat here, okay? Because that's what we do. We want emotion coming from you. And if you're not crying within the first 3 minutes of the interview, we're not doing our job. Your dad was more than dad. He was your coach, helped mold your career. What is special about that? And when you think of coaches, is there anybody on earth that you could imagine helping you become the golfer you are today other than your dad?
Wow. Well, so wonderful job with that introduction. I will say you missed a few key points, including the fact that my father was my caddy. He was my very first caddy for the first 3.5 years as a professional. So he was there for my first professional win when I was playing back in the Mesozoic era on what is now the Symetra Tour. Back then, the Futures Tour wasn't even acquired by the LPGA. He was there for my first LPGA Tour start. He was there for my first LPGA Tour win, which was the closest that we had gotten to all year long to my hometown of San Jose, California. He was there with me for my first Solheim Cup. He was there with me for my first Solheim Cup point that we won. He is just the GOAT, and he did it as all parents do, selflessly, with his everything, and everything that he did, everything that he said, whether it was something that I agreed with or not, was done because he loves me. And the older I got, like in the last 10 years, it kind of flipped from, no, you're not right, or no, I'm not going to do that, to holy blank. No, not when it's about my daddy. Like, just, oh my God, you were right most of the time. Two, the reason why there would ever have been any sort of an argument or any sort of a difference of opinions or anything is because I am my father, and it's hard to yell at a mirror. And so it has transformed from no to more of a thank you, I'm sorry. And it's pretty amazing.
That changed to the okay, this is annoying. You're telling me things that I already know. I know best. That happens with all kids, right? That isn't just golfers or athletes or you, but there is that moment where all of a sudden you go, oh my God, you were right. But in that moment, you're also a professional golfer. You're also winning tournaments. You're making money. Do you look back and go, man, I wish I had done even a little bit more, or listened a little bit harder, or not given him such a hard time? Do you think you'd be any better today than you are had you been any different with the with your dad?
Well, I am the kind of person that does not dwell on the past. I don't relish in my past successes. I do not wallow in my past sorrows or failures, because everything that I've done has brought me to this moment here. And this might be the greatest moment of my life, being on the Hack and Stick or Stick and Hack show. You know, I'm not going to lie.
Nobody knows.
Well, I don't know, because my brain went Hack and Stick, and I was like, am I saying that because it's alphabetical?
It's Stick and Hack. It's fine.
Yeah.
Stick
But
and Hack.
the fact that,
See, exactly. I was wrong. My brain, I like coordination, and I like putting things in an order. So that's my bad. That is my bad. I'm not the kind of person that focuses on the past, though. I am. Before it was cool with Ted Lasso saying to be a goldfish, I've learned in the last decade to really focus on the moment, because the future's never written. You are presently the pen and the paper that is going to write what the future holds.
Christina, you spent Well, you spent most of your life on the golf course. I mean, have you ever had moments of wanting to do something else, or is your love of golf just so strong that it doesn't matter what happens in your career, you're going to be a golfer for life?
Oh, I'm going to be a golfer for life. Truth be told, I didn't even know you could make money playing golf until after I made the cut at the U.S. Women's Open as a 17-year-old amateur. Like, when I was growing up...
What did you think you were doing? What did you think you were involved in?
Your typical 17-year-old freeloader. And, well, so part of the thing is, growing up, my dad... when I was a junior, he gave everything for me to be where I am today. He would traipse about, and he's a big man. He's 5'11". His calves are they're not as like stick-like down where the ankle is. He has some of the strongest calves on the planet. And he would traipse about whenever I was in a junior tournament and skulk through the trees like a freaking Yeti with a tripod and a 42-pound camcorder. And so he would record a lot of my golf tournaments. And just like a lot of the greats, when like coaches would want to go back and relive plays of football games, basketball games, things like that, see where the momentum switched, things like that. My dad would do that with golf. So whenever we caught the LPGA or the PGA Tour on TV, I'd be like, Dad, we got someone else's feed. What is going on here? I had no idea what professional golf was. I just knew I wanted to play golf for the rest of my life. I didn't even know that you could make money doing it. It was just, when you're a kid, you're so in the moment, and you truly live so freely that you don't understand that, hey, bills have to get paid. There are things such as mortgages, and there is something outside of your own universe and your own world. So for me, I mean, I was a dumb kid in a lot of ways. And I was just so lucky that I was able to be placed on a golf course and just allowed to roam about freely and start with a ball above ground, hit it onto the ground, finish it underground, and do it as quickly and in as few strokes as possible.
I think we all long for those days.
Yeah, days without a mortgage. Good Lord.
No kidding. All right, so in Christina Kim is the guest here in the Stick and Hack Show. You're known in some parts of the golf community, in most parts of the golf community, as a trailblazer in your outfits, in your outgoingness, in your love and your excitement for the game. You really do bring a different perspective to many watching, and everyone who talks about your game. It's so fun to watch. Is that purposeful, or is that just who you are?
So two things. One, I'm just my authentic self. And two, I will say this, especially as being, a person that teeters, depending on the week, between being a full-time tour player and occasionally doing some golf commentary. I blame the media. And I don't mean to sound so 2022 in saying I blame the media. The reality is every single week there are 144 amazing stories on one side of the bag as the players, and then you've got most oftentimes even more incredible stories of the other side of the bag with the caddies. And a lot of times when you have time constraints or you only have a limited number of cameras, you're just going to follow around the people that are around the top of the leaderboard. Or if there's like a really crazy story or something like that going on within a golf tournament. But these, especially on the LPGA Tour, you have some amazing stories and some incredible personalities. It's just a shame that, whether it's, and I don't care, I'll call them out, NBC Universal, whether or not they have been able to provide enough cameras and bodies to capture all of the amazing stories. I don't care. I'll call them out. Like these are my compatriots. These are my fellow competitors. These are my friends. And these are the people that are shaping the way that people view the professionals when it comes to the game that I love and completely immerse myself in day and night. So I'm a huge advocate for wanting to get more exposure. And part of that exposure is, honest to God, just give us a freaking chance. Give us the same number of cameras as you do on the men's tour. And, it's like, come at me and see what happens, bro.
So, Mike, and I know you've got a question. I'm sorry, but I want to go back. Brittany Lincecum was on the show last year and saying very similar things. And this was right after, and forgive me, but I'm the hack and I don't know what the hell tournament it was. There was a tournament that where the coverage got cut off. It was a playoff, and it had happened multiple times where nobody was able to see the end of the tournament. That's what you're referring to. But in general, the stories that aren't being told in the LPGA and in women's golf, the Symetra Tour and below, because there are incredible women coming up in this space. And golf right now is in an awesome spot globally overall for the amateur, for the pro space. PGA, LPGA really, quite frankly, is in a great spot. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have its challenges. And when you say you're calling them out, it really is about calling them out on understanding what they should be doing and what changes need to be made and making them quicker. Everyone is aware that there's not enough cameras because they know how many cameras they have on the course. They know how many players they need.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, there's half of one.
Right.
And it's only on because you're at the last 17% of battery life.
Some guy with his iPhone out there going, "Hey, let me live stream this thing on Twitch." So it is a real problem. And having Morgan Pressel, Brittany Lincecum, we've had some good LPGA star power on this show, and they have all said the very similar thing. And it's shocking that nothing is truly changing other than people talking about the change that needs to happen? How frustrating is that for you?
I mean, it is frustrating, and at the same time, being someone, quote unquote, I'm not in the media. I'm maybe more media curious. I would say that I understand what, especially when it comes to a network television company. It's at what point are we looked upon as human beings, or are we looked upon as metrics? And at the same time, the media is able to transform what people's opinions are. And so if you were to just give us a freaking chance and just say, you know what, screw it. We're going to go balls deep this year. We're going to give the women a ton more coverage. We're going to go and we're going to put them up against the men, and we're going to see what happens. Like, okay, what's the big deal? Let's say you lose out on like $10 million. Okay, I'm pretty sure the other $8.9 billion that you guys already have in your coffers is not going anywhere. And you could change the way that society views women in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be strictly on female sports. It doesn't have to be strictly upon women's golf. It's a societal thing. And the way, like I always say that, I forget when it was like in the late 1800s and into the 1900s, pink used to be worn by boys and baby blue was worn by girls. And that was changed because whether it was either JCPenney or Sears in their catalogs. Originally, pink was worn by young boys because red is a strong male color and pink is still within that family, just a little bit softer. And blue was looked upon as something soft and gentle and ethereal and feminine. And then Sears and JCPenney was like, nah, let's flip that switch. And now anytime you see something pink, you automatically think feminine and cute and sweet and pretty. And it's like, nah, dude, that used to be what little boys wore. Like, it's unbelievable the way that we can change society if someone, one, just takes a chance on it, and two, if you actually put some effort into it.
Yeah, Christina.
Mike, do you remember Mike, I'm sorry. Do you remember when I asked her the question, what about her outfits? And then 10 minutes later, we're down that rabbit hole and I'm sweating. Remember?
Oh, we can talk. I mean, I can go off into pit bulls and how they are actually the most loyal breed. And they used to be considered the nanny dog. I
completely agree.
They were considered the nanny dog because when parents used to go to work, they would have their pit bull watch over the children because they are loyal to a fault. They love playing with children and they're fierce protectors of those that are not part of the family.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, did you know that the wombat, it actually poops in cubes because since they live in high terrain and they want to mark their territory, if it's round, it's just going to roll down the hill. I got all kinds of animal facts.
Christina Kim is on the program, Stick and Hack Show.
Where do I go?
That's the first time we've talked about wombat poop.
It is. Mike. It is. That's a first. On the flip side of this, so we were talking about the media aspect of this, Christina. There's another aspect of this on the tour side. There's so many great LPGA stars out there right now, and the game is in a great spot. But there are obviously some changes that need to be made. Do you see right decisions being made on the tour side of things that are right for the players, or do you think there are things that need to change on that side too?
Well, I know that I am the guest here, but can I flip the switch and ask what kind of changes it is that you think are needed?
Oh, man.
Yeah, good luck with that, Mike.
Because if there are changes that do need to be addressed, where exactly does that stem from? Is that again going back to farther? It's me trying to determine what the true cause is, as opposed to what this may end up being more of an effect, as opposed to an actual cause.
So I think one of the things that has happened recently is the increase in purse size, which has helped dramatically, and it's also helped give a very different public view of the LPGA and some incredible press. Still met with some criticism and concern of this or that. But as far as the equality of pay scale, it appears as if that is starting to move in the right direction. I think that's probably where some of those changes have been talked about in the years past are starting to come to fruition. That and does the LPGA speak up for their own tour with the media? Are they supporting the Symmetry Tour and some of the younger upstarts in the right ways and getting them to move quickly up the ranks and giving them the support that they need? Maybe that's a better question. Not what changes need to be made, but rather what do you see as the current state of the LPGA and what's great and what still needs some work?
Well, I think that if you were to talk to our new commissioner, Molly Marcosaman, if you were to talk to Mike Wan, our most recent commissioner, who's now in charge of the USGA, neither of them have much of a voice box left because they are always screaming and shouting about getting our purses to increase, which, as you had said, we have got a number of sponsors that have really stepped up to the plate and are starting to, take care of that widened divide of pay of the wage gap. I will say, and while I still highly advocate for the fact that the LPGA does need to be compensated better, I mean, them boys, they play for a lot. Like, you ask me, it's borderline too much money. It's kind of silly. Like, you're chasing balls. Like,
I couldn't agree more. What are we doing?
I'm flabbergasted by it. When it comes to supporting the Symetra Tour, which the LPGA did acquisition years and years ago, they've been able to increase purses, they've increased tournaments. We've done a great job of increasing the schedules on both the LPGA, the Symetra Tour, and now having recently gone into partnership with the Ladies European Tour, they've got a very robust schedule in Europe. At the same time, again, it's one of those things where, again, like I'm not going to sit here and say that the media are the reason behind everything, but they have such an ability to shape the way people view things that it's kind of tough. Because if you were to look at our grain reserves, if you will, compared to the reserves that the PGA Tour has, and obviously they have a longer history and all of that, it is night and day. And so the LPGA is doing everything that they can in order to provide as many playing opportunities for players of all different levels as is humanly possible. I know the LPGA oversaw there was a partnership between the WAPT Tour to grant I think it's the top 2 winners of that entrance into Symetra Tour events. I think maybe the leading money leader after that series is over goes to second or final stage of Q Series. Like there are a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, and there are a lot of things that are happening in your face, but we still don't even hear about it, and I speak, one, obviously as a member of the LPGA, a damn proud member of the LPGA, but also as a golf nut. And I mean, I'm aside from all the cat and dog accounts I follow, when it comes to social media, it's pretty much news about golf, people that are within the golf architecture world, certain clubs, things like that. But I mean, let's be real, mostly cats and dogs. And then all of those funny odd couples, like the pig who's got a cat for a best friend.
And who doesn't love that? Let's switch gears for half a second. I would love to talk more about that, Christina. Christina Kim is the guest here at Stick and Hack Show. Christina, your love for golf and your passion for it is very clear. Where does that really stem from? Because as Mike said, you've been playing golf for a long, long time. And I know that I've been playing golf for a long time, and I hate it. But that's me. So where does that come from? That love and that continued fire and passion and that personality every day and week in and week out on the LPGA Tour?
Well, for me, I think that the love of the game ultimately stems from the fact that you can find so many parallels between golf and quote unquote real life. You can do everything possible in your power. You can stripe a drive down the middle of the fairway, and you could do everything you can to prepare for a job interview. You can have all of your clothes pressed. You can have everything. And then boom, right before you walk into the office, you can step on a manhole cover and snap your leg, and it'd be the same thing as you prepare perfectly for a tournament. You go and you rip a drive and it lands on a sprinkler head and then ends up in a penalty area, or ends up a squirrel comes and takes your ball, or all kinds of things. And there are times when you're running late to the office, and so you end up taking a shortcut, whereas the original route you could have taken, there could have been a horrific car accident or a fire or something like that. Just like, every now and again we all shank the ball. I do it. I do it fairly often. You know, and it's like you can shank it and it'll ricochet. Whether it's one of my most memorable shanks was actually as a 17-year-old amateur at the U.S. Women's Open in 2001 at Pine Needles. It was on I think my 63rd hole. Legitimately shanked a 5-iron. I thought it was going OB over the stands, hit a rafter, ended up 40 feet from the hole, lipped out for birdie. Like anything and everything can happen. Nothing is given, nothing is granted. And because of the fact that golf truly encapsulates one moment in time, it is such an amazing, there's so many amazing parallels between golf and life.
Christina, one of the things we talk about a lot is like trying to, on Stick and Hack, is expanding the game and how can we get more people involved. And how do you think golf can be more fun and entertaining for those who aren't in love with the sport? And how do we bring those people into the game?
So it's a little bit of a, one, it's way off the wall. And two, it's not exactly something that can be done instantaneously. I think that so much of what's perceived as the difficulties in golf are done. It's all about perspective. You know, it's like, it's the same thing as if you were to go and say, hey, you know what, to hell with it. I'm going to go and I am going to work on stretching. I want to one day be able to touch my toes. So I'm going to stretch for 30 seconds, 3 times a day. I'm going to bend over at the waist and then see where I end up in a month. I think that in this, Amazon Prime, instant gratification, no such thing as news. It's always only ever breaking news lifestyle that we're in. One of the beautiful things about golf is, every now and again, I just went out and played earlier today and it was, we were stuck behind a group of groups and we were waiting on them on every single hole. And it was one of those things where it was like, you know what? It's a beautiful January day here in Florida. I could be up in New York City where it is, raining cats and dogs. It is below zero. It is this, it is that. You just sort of take a moment to step back and really look at your surroundings. And, it's like when you're on the golf course, how often do you really allow yourself to be immersed in that much nature? We live in all of these concrete jungles. It's so much of it is about perspective, and golf is one of those sports, games, whatever you want to call it. It's a practice in life for me that really allows me to be present and be thankful for where I am, and it gives you perspective. And again, I'll shank one, and instead of thinking, oh my God, I've got the shanks now, I'm like, whew, I'm glad that thing was inside of me, but I hit it, and so now it's off to go mess with somebody else. Like, bye, Felicia.
It's gone.
She gone.
She gone.
Anytime I shank one from moving forward, I'm just going to go, bye, Felicia.
Yeah.
And I'll think of you, Christina.
Absolutely.
100%.
It is no longer inside of you. It's gone. You've reached your quota of shanks for the day.
Well, we'll see. There's still plenty more left.
Adam has plenty of those.
You got to be
Adam
hopeful.
has more than most.
I'm hopeful, but I'm also realistic. Who is your fantasy foursome? So they don't have to be alive, and quite frankly, they don't even have to be a golfer. I know you have a love for history, so you could be creative here in your answer. But who is your fantasy foursome on the golf course?
For me, I would say Barack Obama would definitely be in there because it's just so fascinating to be able. I have met him before. And it is just so fascinating to be able to truly be one of the first, to be the first African-American, Black, depending on how it is that you want to identify, president of the United States, leader of the free world. I think that is just something that, there are experiences that you cannot ever fathom. My father, before Obama, it'd be my daddy. My daddy's always going to be in my foursome. So absolutely. Obama, and then truth be told, I don't really have. It's always my dad and me. So I don't really have a fantasy foursome because it kind of changes all the time. Someone like Ricky Gervais would be awesome because he doesn't look like he would ever have the patience for the game, and he looks like he would absolutely hate it. So I would look upon it as an amazing opportunity to get him to see it from my point of view and find an appreciation and love for the game.
That's a great answer. You get somebody out there who will despise it and see, not if you can change them, just witness it from their eyes and watch them hopefully kind of see it from your side. But Ricky Gervais on a golf course with you and Barack Obama and your dad, my God, that is a fantasy foursome.
I feel like Ricky would give up after about 2 holes and just be like,
he would be hammered.
Well, then we would have this existential talk about life in general. It would be amazing.
Absolutely.
You would indeed. Christina Kim is the guest here on the Stick and Hack Show. We're going to take a break, come right back. You're going to play Stick or Hack with us. Yes, Christina?
Let's give it a go.
I'll be back in a moment. This is the Stick and Hack Show.
Need some gear to rep your favorite golf brand? Visit the Stick and Hack shop to explore our curated collection of exclusive merchandise. With a variety of styles of hats, shirts, and outerwear, we've got something for every golfer. Plus, shop our unique assortment of accessories, including putter covers, foam caddies, and more. Be sure to fill out our weekly cash grab survey to get a chance to win $25 to use at the shop. Visit the Stick and Hack shop today to get what you need to look your best on and off the course.
We're back here with Christina Kim on the Stick and Hack Show. I'm your host, Adam Grubb. That's Mike Ryan, the Stick. It's our favorite part of the show, most people's favorite part of the show. This is the game, Stick or Hack. Okay? Now, this is very simple. We're going to go through a list of a category, and you're going to say if it's Stick or Hack. Got it?
Yes.
I assume yes? Okay. And you can just pretend that you're excited for the show.
Oh, I'm thrilled. Right, I'm just trying to. My first thought was Stick
like,
or Hack, and the question was it was going to be a 1-word question. Is just butter, and my mind went to stick of butter.
That's what's going to happen. So the category here for Stick or Hack, Mike, is Christina Aguilera songs.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, you guys get the tie-in?
Yes.
Okay. I have tied both in loosely, but I've done it. Christina Aguilera songs, Stick or Hack. Number 1, Genie in a Bottle.
Oh, definite Stick.
I'm going to go Stick, yeah.
Yeah, Stick. That's launched her career. How could it not be?
Right.
Lady Marmalade.
Stick, 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 stick. 4 sticks.
Yeah, Stick.
Hack. That song bothers me on all levels.
That sounds like a you problem more than anything else. It's an amazing rendition of the original. It has been updated, and those women looked like absolute fire in that music video.
Agree.
And the movie Moulin Rouge with Ewan McGregor and then that lady Cameron Diaz, was it? I can't remember. Yep. It was a beautiful tie-in. And female empowerment. It is verbally inaccurate because it's actually voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir technically, but you know, it's a stick.
Hack. You just illuminated my point.
He has so many issues, Christina. Like we can't even begin to.
Maya is so fine. What's wrong with you?
Okay, I couldn't agree more with you. What I'm saying is, for Christina Aguilera's songs, which is the category, Lady Marmalade's Hack.
Belts in that bop.
I agree.
We're too into this, Mike, and she's mad at me.
Oh no, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad.
I'm
here we
enjoying
go.
This. I'm enjoying.
No,
this.
I know you would be.
This is great.
Shane's probably just giggling in the background somewhere, just happy as pie.
He is.
Dirty. Stick or Hack?
Hack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hack.
Oh, shock of the year, Mike.
Yep.
Stick.
See, I knew
explanation.
He does.
Not necessary.
He doesn't even know.
That
name of the song.
like
Dirty.
He's just saying it to be contrarian.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
If you believe in something, you should be able to back it up immediately, and you don't.
This
is
the best version of this.
You guys
of this
are
game
conducting the interview, but I'm the one that's learning things right now.
I love this.
But, whatever. It's okay. It's okay.
So, Christina Kim is the guest on the Stick and Hack Show. We're playing Stick or Hack, Christina Aguilera songs. Speaking of Christina Kim, the next song on the list is Beautiful. Stick or Hack?
Hack.
See, now he's sucking up. See?
Hack.
Mike?
It is a beautiful song. It is just way overplayed, and it just I don't. My preferred song with the word "beautiful" as a title by Eminem. Check the lyrics.
Oh,
it is so inspiring.
All right. We will check that out, and I will say that "Beautiful" is also a Hack song. It is too slow, and it's a little much for me. Yeah, it's too much. I couldn't agree more. All right, Moves Like Jagger. Christina Aguilera song, Stick or Hack?
Stick. It's a bop.
Yeah, Stick.
Mike?
Yeah, for sure.
Stick. All right. That's our first. Actually, no, that's our second 100%er. Beautiful moves like Jagger. We're all
on the same page now.
In agreement. All right. Fighter. Christina Aguilera song. Stick or hack. Fighter.
Ooh, I don't remember that song. No, I'm gonna defer to Mike.
I'm gonna go stick with that one. That was the one where I think the music video, she was like in a boxing ring.
No, that was Dirty.
No, was it?
Dirty, where she's got the red, the pants with no
like red leather pants,
and then underparts that are on the underside. I think I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I feel like okay.
Well,
I think you might be right.
You may very well be right.
We'll look that up. What we'll do
because she had the dreads going and she was in a boxing ring and was fighting. Perfect. But I'm pretty sure it was Dirty.
Okay,
it would make sense that would be Fighter, but I think you might be right. I think it is Dirty, but nonetheless,
I'm going to stick with Fighter.
All right, I'll go stick too then.
What the hell is happening right now? You
nice
literally
eye roll.
Switched your vote. You switched your vote.
I said I was deferring to Mike.
Okay.
You be Christina. Don't let him talk you into anything.
Next up, Say Something. That's Christina Aguilera with A Great Big World. Say Something.
No sé. Lo siento. I don't.
You don't remember that song?
I don't believe so. I'm more of a rock girl
she's going to defer to you again, Mike.
I don't know this one either.
We'll defer to you, Adam.
This is a stick song. It is a stick song. It's a nice love song. I don't know the meaning. If look at the faces. All right,
I don't know.
Screw it.
How can something called "Say Something" be a love song?
Say something. I'm getting out of here. Those are the.
No. How is that a love song? That sounds like an ultimatum, or that sounds like one person in the relationship is already with their foot out the door. Say something. Are you going to seriously say that to the love of your life? You're just sitting there, you're like, say something. Say something.
This is the greatest of all time.
I'm going to go back and listen to it now. So if I have to come back and...
This is the GOAT sticker hack.
And change my answer, I will.
Christina Aguilera songs is regretfully the category. What a Girl Wants. Here we go. Number 9, What a Girl Wants.
Because of where I was in my era of growing up, I would have to say Stick. It was a fairly influential song. I feel like you didn't hear about a ton of songs that were female empowerment. That in your face, I should say.
Agreed. Mike?
Man, this is my first one. I'm going to defer and say hack. And the only reason I'm saying it's a hack is because it got played so much.
Yeah.
When it was out that it.
All those songs did in the late 90s.
6 months. Yeah, but they played that thing. I mean, it was like every 5 minutes, and it was this
and Britney, and then
it ruined it for me. So
then NSYNC, and then Pink, then stupid Smash Mouth would come in there, and Dumb Sugar Ray. But yeah, and then it would be back to What a Girl Wants. All right, last song here, sticker hack. Christina Aguilera song's the Addams Family theme, which is relatively new, but this is as of this year. She's now singing the Addams Family theme. And I think if you say any other answer other than what I hope you say, then we might cut this part out of the show.
¿Qué?
Sticker hack. Addams Family theme.
I hope it's an absolute stick. I cannot imagine there being some sort of a profound, prophetic, amazing, beautiful ballad with belting notes in the Addams Family soundtrack or theme song. It has to be an automatic hack.
100%, Mike. I'm not even gonna give you a vote, baby. You vote hack. That's how we end it. We're all in agreement for a very
Third
limited time on that game.
Don't run my life, Adam.
What's that, Mike?
Don't try to run my life.
Is it because she's singing about your family, Adam?
See?
Christina, come back and join us, will you? You were incredible. Everything they say about you is true. You are fun, entertaining, charismatic, and we loved having you on the show. She's Christina Kim, LPGA superstar. Follow her this season. Good luck to you out there, Christina. We hope you win gobs and gobs of money, gobs and gobs of tournaments, and I hope you have a great time and enjoy spreading the love of golf to all of those that follow you. We appreciate your time here. There she goes, Christina Kim, everybody, on the Stick and Hack Show. I'm Adam. That's Mike. You guys all have a great Great rest of your week. Appreciate you listening here. This is perhaps the greatest golf show you've ever listened to from the world's greatest golf club without the course. Go to YouTube, our YouTube channel, and see more of our incredible catalog of guests, LPGA and PGA superstars, as well as the many stories of the game that we're telling here. Mike, Godspeed to you. Best of luck. We'll talk to you later.
Peace out, guys.
Okay, we're done. This has been the Stick and Hack Show. Go to stickandhack.com to become a free member of the world's greatest golf club without the course.